Welcome to today's news discussion. I'm Sarah, and joining me is Sean. We've got a packed show for you, covering some of the biggest stories making headlines around the world.
That's right, Sarah. We're diving into a devastating coal mine accident in China, a major test flight by SpaceX, and concerns over an Ebola outbreak in Congo. Let's start with the coal mine accident.
The death toll from a gas explosion at a coal mine in Shanxi Province, North China, has risen to 82, with 9 others still trapped. The accident occurred on Friday at the Liu Shenyu coal mine in Qinyuan County.
That's a horrific number. Were there any immediate rescue efforts reported?
According to Xinhua, rescue operations were underway immediately after the explosion. The report mentions that over 240 miners were underground when the accident happened.
So, what do we know about the cause of the explosion?
The articles suggest it was a gas explosion, but specific details about the cause are still limited. The reporting indicates that investigations are likely ongoing.
These coal mine accidents are tragically common in China. What's the context here? Is this mine considered particularly risky, or was there any recent safety issues reported?
From what the reporting says, this particular mine had been operational, but I didn't find any specific mention of recent safety issues. It's worth noting that China's coal mining industry has had a history of accidents due to various factors, including safety lapses.
Right, and the scale of this accident is particularly alarming. Do we know how the local community is responding to this tragedy?
The local response has been significant, with rescue efforts and official statements. However, the emotional and social impact on the families and community isn't detailed in the articles we've seen.
Okay, let's move on to another major story. SpaceX recently conducted a significant test flight.
That's right. SpaceX launched its upgraded Starship V3 on a test flight from Texas. This version is significantly more powerful and is crucial for NASA's plans to land astronauts on the moon.
What were the key objectives of this test flight?
According to the reporting, the test flight carried 20 mock Starlink satellites and was considered a high-stakes trial run for the major upgrades to Starship. The mission was deemed successful as it met all the company's stated goals.
That's impressive. How does this advancement impact SpaceX's broader ambitions, like getting people to Mars?
This is a significant step forward for SpaceX's long-term goals. The upgraded Starship is not just for lunar missions, but is also part of Elon Musk's vision for reaching Mars. Each successful test brings them closer to making that a reality.
Speaking of significant events, there's been another disturbing incident related to the Ebola outbreak in eastern Congo.
Yes, a treatment tent for Ebola patients was set on fire for the second time this week, and 18 people suspected of infection escaped. This happened in a region that's already struggling to contain the outbreak.
What are the immediate concerns here? The safety of the people suspected of having Ebola and the risk of further spread.
Exactly. The local hospital director reported that the escaped individuals pose a significant risk of spreading the virus further into the general population. The situation is being closely monitored.
Are there any indications of why these treatment centers are being attacked?
The reporting suggests that there are community tensions and possibly mistrust towards the health response efforts. However, the exact reasons behind these attacks are complex and multifaceted.
This is a critical situation. What measures are being taken to address both the Ebola outbreak and the attacks on treatment centers?
The health authorities are working to reestablish trust and continue the treatment efforts. There's also a focus on securing the treatment centers to prevent further incidents.
Let's go back to the SpaceX story for a moment. There's another article about the same test flight.
Right. The articles are covering the same event, but with slightly different details. The Reuters report mentions that this was the 12th test flight of Starship and marked the debut of the new Raptor 3 engines.
So the Raptor 3 engines are a significant upgrade. Can you tell us more about what that means for the performance of Starship?
The new engines are part of the major upgrades to Starship. They are crucial for the increased payload capacity and overall performance. The success of these engines is vital for both lunar and potential Mars missions.
That's fascinating. How does this test flight fit into the overall development timeline for Starship?
This is a significant milestone. It demonstrates the progress SpaceX is making towards operational readiness. NASA is counting on Starship for lunar missions, so this is a critical step in that program.
Let's touch on another aspect of the coal mine accident. There's a slightly different death toll reported in some articles.
Yes, some state media reports have put the death toll at over 90. The discrepancy might be due to the timing of the reports or updates in the rescue efforts.
So the situation is still developing. Have there been any official statements regarding the cause and the response to the accident?
The official reports indicate that investigations are ongoing. There has been statements from local officials about the rescue efforts and condolences for the families affected.
As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that these stories cover a wide range of critical global issues. From the tragic coal mine accidents in China to the advancements in space technology with SpaceX and the ongoing health crisis in Congo, there's much to keep an eye on.
Absolutely, Sean. Each of these stories highlights significant challenges and developments in their respective domains. We'll continue to follow these stories and bring our listeners updates as more information becomes available.
And that's all for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay informed.
Stay safe and goodbye.